Well, good morning. It's another, not quite, but feels like spring day, but you know, it's central Ohio, so it can change probably in a space of a couple hours. No real stated goal today. Get packing up to take our annual trip down to Floribama. Want to fly the plane before I go. Did work on an airplane yesterday, worked on service Bolton 00053 for somebody else's airplane. And I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do it again down in Florida, and then I'll do mine. And then there's a guy down in Cincinnati that'll do his. And the reason I do them is because I'm the only person that can fit back in that tail cone. It's a very, very tight fit. I have a picture of it working on the other airplane. All right, so for today, we're just waiting for some temperature. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but on a lot of these videos, I said something that maybe not entirely true, if maybe not even partially true, that we wait for 120 on the oil so that all of the dissimilar metals in the engine had a chance to expand, and they all expand at different rates. Well, that apparently is not the reason. The reason is at below 120 degrees, and this comes from Rotax or Rotax owner, one or the other, but they're both trusted sources. It's because below 120 degrees, the oil is too viscous. It's not thin enough to get to all of the places it needs to go in the engine, at least at higher RPM. So either way, we're waiting for 120, but it's not going to take long because I did have it on the preheater. And it's not cold outside, it's 46 degrees, which isn't too bad for March. Around here, you just never know what you're going to get. So, again, I keep getting that barometer too high. I think I want it down about there. There we go, 3013, and see if the tower agrees with that or not. Alrighty, so just a matter of getting down to the runway now. I think I'm going all the way down to runway 4. So, that's a long walk. Let's see, ground. Bolton ground, experimental 284 Delta Golf T hangars ready to taxi departing VFR to the west.
Experimental 284 Delta Golf on ground, runway 4 taxi via taxiway Bravo Alpha, wind 3603, turns 3015.
Taxi to runway 4, 284 Delta Golf. 3015, there is somebody taxiing in. I'd ask for 4, but I think he's got somebody doing touch and goes on it or something. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. Really just trying to run the engine. I think I've flown across the entire winter maybe 5 or 6 hours. It's winter when I'm not flying the plane and I'm still maintaining it and I'm still paying for a hangar and I'm still paying for insurance. I start having thoughts of selling the thing because I'm not using it, which of course is just a winter thing. It's just the thing about it this year is though that the price it's such a seller's market. If I was ever going to sell this thing, it would be now. It'd be the right time to do it. But I just don't think I'm ready to give up. There's nothing I would want to replace it with. It's the perfect airplane for me. So there's no, and of course anything I would go out to buy is also doing pretty good on the. Yes, it did say 4. Yeah, he did. You know, buying something like a 1968 Cessna 172 is going to cost way more than anything that's rational. Gasoline, I just paid $4.09 for the truck, and that's even more for the airplane because it uses the higher octane.
And ground, Cessna 56 Hotel.
On ground, say again.
This is Cessna 56 Hotel. I'm the instructor of the student that's about to solo. If anything happens, I'll be in the FBO just below.
Do you want to come up here?
That would be pretty awesome. How do I get up there?
Just go through the terminal and you'll see a door right there by I think there's a water cooler. Somebody can tell you it's sitting in there.
See you in just a minute then. Thank you, 56 Hotel.
I'd like to sign up for that. Let's see, I was considering staying in the pattern, but with a student solo, I don't want to get in his way, and I did touch and goes just last week anyway. So I'm not going to do that, but I wouldn't mind being up in the tower and seeing that. Okay. So a lot of preparations before going down to Floribama in the camper. I went and got the propane tanks filled today. It's amazingly efficient on propane. I think we've had the thing 4 years now, and I think this is maybe the third time I had those tanks filled. But we do tend to, whenever possible, we'll have a campsite where the electricity is already paid for. The way I see it, the propane is something we bought and brought. The electricity, we have an electric, we got space heaters, the fireplace is electric. We really don't use the propane much for, I can run the water heater on the electric or the propane. I mean, it's just, this lasts forever. Okay. It was actually cheaper, it was $3.89 a gallon, and I just paid $4.07 or $4.09 or something for gasoline. So I'm gonna get my truck converted to run on propane. Like lifting those big tanks in there. Alright, we're all the way down now. This is a long walk, but we are fully up to temperature.
Bolton Ground, Cessna 56 Hotel is ready to taxi to runway 4.
Well, he'll tell you which runway.
Air 56 Hotel, Bolton Ground, runway 4, taxi via taxiway Charlie Alpha, Windcom, alternate 3015.
Charlie to Alpha for 56 Hotel.
Well, he sounds pretty good on the radio. Confident. So, yeah, he should. That doesn't sound like he's going to have any trouble at all. Probably cleaner on the radio than I am. Okay, well, we're burning a lot of amps coming down here. -4. I have the strobes on, and I'll put the landing light on as soon as we take off. I'll do it now. Part of the run up. Okay, latched. Yep, we're latched. We're going to do the old techie doodle on the. Yep, everything's on. All the pieces are moving. Yep, okay. And up we go to 4,000. Nice smooth engine. Freshly gasketed carburetors. There's 4 grand. 3950, 3960. 3950, 3940, a little bit, just a wee bit less. But definitely within range. And do we have a good idle? We got a good low idle. Yes, we do. All right. Battery volts will come up when we're near. When we got a lot of more, don't want that much up trim. We gotta go to tower. All right, where's my checklist? Interrupted. Okay, stick back. Throttle 4,000. 115 instruments. Everything is in. Of course, those yellows will come up with the power. Throttle at idle. Fuses check. Yeah, they light up and tell me. Fuel pressure way up there. It's a nice high pressure day, and I got a lot of gas. That's what part of what I'm doing is trying to get some rid of this gas because I got to take that fuel tank out and do a service bolt in 53 on my airplane. Fuel pressure, we did that. Seatbelts fastened. Yep. Landing steady for night. Pulse for day. We are on pulse. Flight timer, don't care. Passenger brief, don't have one. Okay. We're on tower. We're good to go. Nothing more to do. I don't have anything in that. I got a direct to Bolton back in here, so that's nothing. All right, off we go. Oh, that guy's a slow taxier. He's a student. Nothing wrong with that. Bolton Tower, experimental 284 Delta Golf, ready for takeoff runway 4, departing VFR to the west.
Experimental 284 Delta Golf, Bolton Tower, turn left on course, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 4, left on course, 4 Delta Golf. Alrighty. I guess I could turn this on. Oh, it already is on. Are you recording or not? There it goes again. Okay. If not, no loss. No heat today. I'm hot. Got a nice jacket on, and I'm sitting in a. I need to do this actually. There we go. All right, here we go. All the way in. There it is. I've got it in bat out of hell mode. This is best climb, 5960. Best rate, I think. Alrighty. be a little bump in the air. Let's go ahead and put our heading as west. So.
Fulton Tower, Cessna 56 Hotels, holding short of runway 4.
Cessna 56 Hotel, Fulton Tower, right close traffic, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
Altitude.
Clear for takeoff, right close traffic,
300,
runway 4.
3,000, 3,000. 3,000. Up. And autopilot. There we go. Got to practice that autopilot because I get really rusty at that over the winter. Looks like it's doing what I want it to do. So there you go. So we got a little bit of time. I have not made a high quality movie in quite a while, or never really if you throw the high in front of quality or even include the word quality. Updates, let's see, the Grand Boys are still a lot of fun. They're just now learning words. They know how to say bye-bye, but they say it kind of sing-songy because they're in a daycare. So it's bye-bye. And they're fast, they're walking, they're running, they're getting into everything. It's premature terrible twos, really, but they're fun. We have them overnight once or twice a week, sometimes both of them, sometimes just one of them. Got a house full of toys, so things are going pretty good with the boys. They're clever little guys. I'm not doing much with Civil Air Patrol anymore. Kind of pondering whether I'm going to keep up with it or not. Don't know how long I've talked to you people. There came a point last year where I decided I just did not want to fly their airplanes. It's nothing, well, it's a little bit having to do with CAP because for very obvious reasons, they're very, a lot of paperwork, a lot of friction, hours of just getting ready and pre-flighting and post-flighting, and it's all appropriate, but it kind of takes any of the flying fun out of the flying. I never did come to terms with the Cessna 182 with regards to landing it. I do have a theory as to why I was having so much trouble, and I'm afraid it came to me way too late to do anything about it, but I was having trouble in the flare keeping the nose wheel high enough, and you know, he's like, well, get the nose up, get the nose up. Well, compared to my sight picture here, the nose was up.
The 56 Hotel is midfield for runway 4.
Way up, and you know, okay.
56 Hotel, runway 4, clear to land.
And then other times I'd have no trouble with it at all.
56 Hotel.
And I think the difference was the seats are not fixed like these. I'm sitting basically on a cushion sitting on top of metal. It does not adjust vertically at all, or any other way, really. With the 182, you get different people in there, and they're raising that seat up and down, and it can be quite a significant difference. And it never struck me to think, well, why don't I make sure the seat is in the same place every time I fly so that sight picture remains the same? But it really got down to, it was expensive. They do understand that you need to maintain currency, and they give you an hour a month to do it, and then you're on the hook for anything else. 1 hour a month in a 182 coming from this airplane was not enough. I was going to need at least 3 or 4 hours, and it cost less. It cost about half of what it would cost to rent, so it's still about $120, $130 depending on the gas per hour, and I wasn't enjoying it. And if I'm not enjoying it, there's no point in spending the money on it, and I did not feel competent. I didn't feel enough competence to fly solo. I wasn't going to fly with 3 other people in the airplane and just not be able to fly the airplane well. So, just for various reasons. I don't know if I ever put up a video where I was volunteering at the Humane Society, taking care of dogs. Well, I wasn't really taking care of dogs. I was picking up dog poop a couple mornings every week. I'd go out and spend an hour and a half cleaning out all the stalls and moving the dogs around, and there was nothing wrong with that, except for one thing. 30 plus dogs in a cinder block building, all barking and howling at once, is very, very loud. And the last day I was there, I just reached my limit of how much noise that I could actually tolerate. I had some hearing damage when I was in the military, when I was in the Air Force, working on the flight line with the SR-71s and the F-4s. They were very, very loud. And you didn't always get a chance to get your plugs in. And I think one of the things with, they showed us training films, you're absorbing too much noise if you start to feel angry from it. And that's what happened that day. I had this flash of anger, just irrational. And I just had to get out of there and decided for a volunteer job.
56 Hotel, turn left at Alpha 3, taxi to runway 4 via taxiway Alpha.
Alpha 3 to
so they
Alpha
have
runway 4, 56 Hotel.
Or they have more they have more volunteers than they actually need. They don't really struggle for volunteers. Lots and lots of people. The volunteer book is that thick of names. So I didn't feel bad about leaving that. EAA I'm still with. EAA I really enjoy. I mean, basically it's a meeting a month. I'm on the board, so it's the board meeting. And we're currently discussing whether we should do a chapter build. If we do a chapter build, how to finance it and what to build. Obviously, I'm a proponent of building an RV-12. One reason is obvious. I have built one, so I'm familiar with it. I know the process. I know that it can be accomplished. And the other is, it's just such a good airplane. It's just a wonderful little airplane. So I don't know how we're going to fund it. The chapter has some money, not enough. It's just in the talking phase. I did do the effort of looking at other airplanes that are buildable. What did I look at? Kit Fox. I looked at a Kit Fox. I looked at a Rans. But I just keep coming back to the fact that whatever you build, they all cost pretty much the same because the majority of the cost is aluminum, avionics, and engine. Is probably 3/4 of the cost of the airplane. So they're all going to cost similarly unless you kind of don't, like when I did the Kit Fox, I brought the Kit Fox in cheaper than the 12 because I put in a 7-inch dynon and maybe a comm. It was just no autopilot or anything like that because it's kind of a bush plane. So there's been no argument. Everybody agrees that the RV-12 is, it's a good way to go. The options were build it and sell it. The chapter's not allowed to own it, so it's build it and sell it, or build it and have sponsors that end up owning it. A collection of people that end up owning it. So anyway, it's in the early stages. It's something interesting. Let's see. So CAP, EAA.
Fulton Tower, Cessna 56.
Oh, the library.
Go to runway 4.
Right.
56 Hotel, right close traffic.
Still do a lot of work for the public library, creating posters and things for events that they have. We had an event recently. There's an outfit down in Xenia, Ohio called 4 Paws for Ability, and they raise and train helper dogs, for all service dogs, for all kinds of different things. And that was really nice. They brought 4 college students, brought their dogs that they're training. The college students train the dogs. It's kind of nice for the students because they get to keep the dog in their dorms. They're with the dogs 24/7. They take them to class and all that, which is kind of neat. I thought it was pretty interesting. So I'm involved in that, and then being grandpa. We took the boys out to the Air Force Museum. They recognize airplanes, probably because of me. They get a lot of airplane toys, so when they were in their stroller, rolled them into the big, exhibit hall, and there's airplanes all over the place, and they're just like, airplane, 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 airplane. So my programming is working out well. They're going to be little flyers. All right, well, this is probably enough to run the engine. I got work to do, so we're going to turn back. So let's do a map, direct to Bolton. All right, let's just try, let's see what nav does when we're going the wrong direction. I don't think it'll do a thing. Yeah, it's going to turn around. Okay, let's see where it takes us. I don't think it can make that turn. That's kind of tight. We'll see what it does. Engine is running great. I did the carburetor service Bolton. I actually took them apart, inspected them, put the new gaskets in. Had a little help from the A&P at Bolton as they didn't do it. They can't. For various business and contractual reasons, they can't work on airplanes at the airport, which is very frustrating. But they were able to kind of stand by and watch while I went through it. And it's in the Rotex maintenance guide, tells you everything you need to do. But I felt a little bit better having those guys kind of pay attention to what I was doing, and everything's working great, so nothing wrong there. Plane's running great. It is a good little airplane. I almost flew it to Florida because I was just going down there to do the service bolting on that other RV-12 I work on. I did one yesterday up in Delaware, and it's not the most difficult service bulletin ever, but it is very uncomfortable because you have to crawl all the way back into the tail cone. I mean, I was all the way back at the very back of the tail, and it is very awkward to get in there, and it's very uncomfortable to be in there. And you're trying to reach around the other side of these bulkheads and drill out rivets, and it's just, it's one of those things where I'm the one that can fit up in there. I don't mind doing it, but it was one of the most uncomfortable service bulletins ever. And I was going to fly down to Florida and do it, but we usually drive down to Florida with the camper every year, and I got it in my head that I'll just fly down or fix his airplane and fly back. And then I decided I just didn't want to mess with the weather, and I would wait a couple weeks and just would go down in the camper like we usually do. And the weather was beautiful. I could have flown down there, could have been down there 3 days and flown back. But it's a lot more, well, it costs about the same in gasoline now because I'm burning 91 octane, and now the price of 91 octane is now the price of 87 octane. But towing the camper, we only get 7 or 8 miles per gallon, and it's about a, 600, 800 mile drive. So it's not going to be cheap, but it's a nice trip. We're able to bring the dogs. We have a wonderful campground down there. It's right on the Sound, just outside of Navarre. We'll get to see the Blue Angels practice. They're back home. And for like the month of March, they practice, and you can go, you can't get on base anymore. Pensacola's been locked down for 4 years now. They had a mass killing, and then they had COVID. So we go to the other side of the Sound, and you can still see them. You can set up a chair, and it's right there. I mean, it's a nice thing to do. I just like it. It's a nice little trip. It was probably be our 5th time down there. I think I went once or twice, and then we got the camper, and we started driving down. So that'll be fun. Other than that. All right, so what are we at? 6 miles back to the airport. No reason to even turn off the camera. Let's go back into, there we go, get back, make sure I'm on tower. That would have been a big mistake. We're just about to Lily Chapel. Landing on 4, so I'm gonna kill the direct 2 and go back to track and track my way a little bit south. Got some good wind, but it's not much. We got 8 knot crosswind at 3,000 feet. That's not much wind at all. But I'm gonna basically aim us a little closer to Lily Chapel. Well, no, I didn't. I actually took us a little away from the Lily Chapel.
56 Hotel, turn left at Alpha 3, taxi to runway 4 via taxiway Alpha.
That should be easy to squeeze in with him. He's not in the pattern.
Alpha, 56 Hotel.
I don't think he's going to be much of a problem. He's not in the pattern, and he's doing that taxi back thing, so I'm not too worried about him. I'm going to get cleared into a 2-mile left base, or a report 2-mile left base. So I'm not aiming at the airport. I'm aiming at the base leg. There we go. It's all automatic. Let's do a descent just for fun. All right, there's 2,500, and let's go down. And there's Lily Chapel under my nose. I'll give him a call here in a second. Oh no, he's right over there. My bad. All right. FAA watches this video, they're gonna yank my license. All right, yep, there's our descent coming in. That's all good, that's looking good. We don't need this much power. And we do need a little bit of left rudder. There we go. Bolt Tower, Experimental 284 Delta Golf, Lily Chapel inbound landing.
Experimental 284 Delta Golf, Bolton Tower for missile right downwind runway 22, wind 2604, altimeter 3015.
Report midfield right downwind 22, 4 Delta Golf. That's news. There we go. It is calm, so I guess, I don't know what happened to the other guy, that touch and go guy. I wasn't really listening to the numbers. I guess he's either done or he's on 2-2 now. Oh, we'll find out. Okay, hello Lily Chapel. No corn at all. It's well, there will be, there'll be wheat soon. The spring wheat, it's already greening up. I can see the wheat fields, they're green already. Oh, we didn't get to fly over the bison. I finally went to the nature center where they keep those bison. They have a dozen of them. And they were in the lower pasture, so we couldn't really see them. The nature center is small, but it's a lot of the local birds and snakes. I mean, they're taxidermy, right? There's nothing live in there. They did have a live snake, and I had my daughter with me, and we just watched a live snake, a big snake, swallow a mouse very, very slowly. That was interesting.
Bolton Tower, 56 hotels, holding short of runway 4.
See, now what? He's on 4 and I'm going 22.
56 hotel, right close traffic, runway 4, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 4, right close traffic, 56 hotel.
Alright, 4 Delta Golf, let's go ahead and report a 2 mile left base, runway 4.
Report 2 mile left base, runway 4, I was kind of wondering.
I'm always right, eventually. Sometimes I have to wait for it, but eventually. Now I got to remember to do it. I can just keep flying on in and forgetting to do the 2 mile thing. All right, let's just hand fly the thing for here.
Connect.
Let's do a little hand flying. That gets rusty too. Nice day to fly.
Leaving altitude.
All right, gonna start letting it come down. 3.5 miles. I'll call him at 2.5. He was on 4 in a right field.
Bolton Tower, 730 uniform.
730 uniform, Bolton Tower.
Oh, that's not him.
730 uniform is 10 miles west, southwest of the field. I'm looking to do a touch and go and then get flight following back to Kilo Uniform November India.
730 uniform, report 3 mile final, runway 4, wind is 2404, alternate 3015.
3015, cleared for 4, 730 uniform.
Bolton 253, Juliet Alpha 11 west, inbound full stop. Air 253, Juliet Alpha, Bolton Tower, reported midfield left downwind, runway 4, wind 2403, alternate 3015.
Report midfield left downwind, runway 4, 3015, Archer 253, Juliet Alpha.
Bolton Tower 4, Delta Golf, 2 mile left base 4.
Air 4 Delta Golf, runway 4, clear to land.
Clear land 4 Delta Golf.
Air 56 Hotel, you number 2, follow the experimental on about a mile left base.
I see him, he's way out there.
Number 2 for 56 hotel, follow the experimental.
He's a mile out there. Well, we can do a no flaps, which will get us down to runway pretty quick, but he is so far out there, I don't think I'm going to be much of a problem to him. And we'll land long anyway, like we always do. We're going back to the barn. What a sloppy base. 35-degree angle. All right, this looks pretty good. Wind is almost nothing. Ooh, okay, there's a chop. A Rocky chop. We're way high, there we go. Come on, way high, let it come down, come on down.
Experimental 4 Delta Golf, turn left at Alpha 3, taxi departing via taxi by Alpha Charlie to the ramp, monitor ground point 8.
Left Alpha 3, Alpha Charlie to the ramp, monitor ground point 8 Delta Golf.
Laps are stuck, there they go.